I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in needing to do something to stop this skid here before the season ends.
And if you're leading this organization, one of the things you're making sure everyone understands, this isn't about playing for draft picks. This is about playing for victories.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
I know we were assigned this game, but let's face it, this is the one we wanted, isn't it? A chance to watch an MVP candidate perform down the stretches 4 weeks ago. How are you feeling about his chances?
Well, I think he certainly has a shot. It's going to determine what he does and what the others around him do for these last 4 weeks. But more MVP chatter, it seems like, every year as you hit the month of December. This year's going to be no exception.
Yeah, I know he's not ranked number 1 right now, but if he plays up to his capabilities, I think he's going to win the thing. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun give to Fournette. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. Not the start they envisioned. Looks like a 3 and out. And for a team that hasn't won a game in a while, that's tough.
And what we have to look out for and keep an eye on is the same thing that their coaches are doing. Wanting to see if guys are going to get discouraged early and sag because of what's happened in the recent losing streak. Can they stay with it despite a tough first drive?
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
These guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. He finds McCoy. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On the defensive side of the football, the starting lineup now for Jacksonville. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
2nd and 6. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who throw it.
McCoy into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal.
Let's go, get set.
Here's McCoy. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And this is what we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it. It's about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser, headed for the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals defense gearing up as they take the field. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this first half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By being really good on that side of the ball in terms of fundamentals. Being in the right spot, diagnosing plays well, and being there at the point of attack. They are really making it happen.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 18 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone.
Minshew throwing on third down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready? Mike, 44. Here we go. Here we go.
This is McCoy. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
60 on. First and 10 at the 46-yard line. Get it.
On first down, it's Ramsey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Go. 8, read.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling that into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's get it.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example, right? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Second and 9 now from the 21.
Watch the run.
Second and 9 now. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage. Playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard second down. Fournette running out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. On second down now. It's Ramsey, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Terry. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Got a man open. It's Ross. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchup.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Jags grab it. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with McCoy. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? They'll look to throw. This is caught. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
Squeeze.
They'll set up a throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
At the 16-yard line. Ready, set. Tighten up.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin in upstate New York, an AFC matchup between Baltimore and Buffalo. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in US Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Deebo Samuel, a touchdown. Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And that one, all even as they play the visiting Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 3 yards there to begin the third quarter. They also lead by 3 points.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
It's a gain of 10. Brings up 3rd and 2.
It's going to be a long day.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game. Yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Fournette. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain block. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of
Nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down. Fournette, a first down carry. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Minshew, that's out to his running back, Fournette. Give him 6 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Minshew sets to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13. Minshew. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 4 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And an alley to run.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Here we go. 94. Back to you. I'm going back to you.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on first. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Well, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, Ramsey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Johnson's got it complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Out of the gun is Minshew. And a quick throw here, that's complete. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Fournette, and he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Leonard Fournette stops short of the marker on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Again, it's McCoy. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch the safety creep.
Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. And they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it? This
is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Again, Minshew looking to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jordan. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Jaguars on third down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, here's Fournette. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 14. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. On the run, it's Fournette. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now Minshew.
Not too many offenses want to turn down.
And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. They were looking for Johnson that time.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it with McCoy. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
30 base.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
On third down, it's Ramsey, and he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Bengals, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.